Welcome to Politics Unplugged. I'm Ann Trujillo, and generally speaking, politics is an older person's issue, but more and more we are seeing young people stepping up and getting involved, wanting to improve things in their community, their state, their nation. I recently had the opportunity to talk to 3 remarkable young people wanting to do just that, and they're doing it by putting together their own Ideas Festival. Here with us today are Caitlin Hess, Ash Abbott, and Annika Ugander, all with connections to Wheat Ridge High School. And this is really our chance to hear their thoughts on the world and issues that are important. So thank you all for being here, first of all. And Caitlin, let's start with you because you had this idea for the Ideas Festival. So explain what that is and where it goes from here.
So I'm a Bezos Scholar and from the Bezos Scholars Program. And through the Bezos Scholars Program, 12 high school students across America are flown out to Aspen for the Aspen Ideas Festival. And while we're up in Aspen for an entire week, we're in leadership seminars and hearing a bunch of phenomenal people talk. And this whole point of this program is to create better activists and leaders in our community. So they send us back to our community and we apply for a $1,000 grant. And if we get this grant, then we get to create our own local Ideas Festival. So it's smaller than the Aspen Ideas Festival. It's just for our community. But mine is going to be about mental health and opening up the conversation in the community so suicide rates decrease.
Okay. And so Ash and Annika, how are you involved in this?
I knew about Caitlin throughout my whole high school career, but I've just started becoming friends with Caitlin a couple months ago. And it was brought to my attention that she was doing this Ideas Festival regarding mental health and suicide and things like that, which is something that hits really close to home, especially at that point in time when she came to me. And I was all for it. She asked for my help. I was 100% ready to help any way I could. So I've been helping her plan everything and get everything organized, and yeah, so.
And so will this be like a one-time event? Will this be a series of discussions? What's the plan?
Well, so right now what we have planned out, or do you want to go, Caitlin?
Keep going. Go for it.
What we have planned out is for just the Ideas Festival at our school, where we're going to bring people in to speak and have just pretty much an afternoon of conversation.
So these conversations, and particularly on the issue of mental health, these conversations are not happening in schools right now? Is that what you're telling me?
Not as often as they should be. There was a middle school teacher that committed suicide last year, and I know that the counselors were just like, hey, like if you want to come talk to us, like come talk to us. There wasn't any actions being taken when it comes to the student body. I know that in our school we have a Sources of Strength program, but that's not utilized, and it's not like most of our kids don't know about it. The really big thing that started last year was a Suicide Awareness Week that Student Council put on, and that's when this conversation started getting out there. But that's just at Wheat Ridge High School. Not very. I don't think any other schools in Jeffco do that.
So why, I know you've talked about suicide prevention. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for ages 10 to 24. And this is, you know, all over the state. So how will you bridge that conversation? Where do you start with that conversation then? Go ahead, Caitlin.
Right now, it's just about opening up the conversation, getting more people comfortable talking about it. It's easing you into it, because if you just throw people into the hot water, then they're going to be like, nope, I'm out. So it's starting the conversations and slowly getting them used to the idea of talking about mental health, so then we can talk about more solutions. But the first solution, the first step that we have to take is opening up the conversation.
What is it that adults don't get about being in high school right now and having these conversations? What are we missing, the adult world?
Well, I know in my personal situation, well, my mom is a high school teacher, and so in her mind she understands a lot of what high school students go through, and in some cases she does. But like for me personally, high school is very different now than it was before. We have a lot more technology, we have a lot more social interaction with other people, and I think that's something that not all adults completely understand nowadays.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the other stresses that you experience in school?
I think the amount of pressure that is put on any student to succeed. Obviously success is something that should happen, and the push is good. But sometimes the push can be much, sometimes the push can be not enough, or not suited to that particular student's needs. So I think that the pressure the pure pressure of success and graduating high school and figuring out what you're going to do with the rest of your life is just, it's really, really tough.
And I think you all have talked about anxiety as an issue, ADHD as an issue. How do those all come into play with this Ideas Fest that you're doing?
We're going to have different speakers from the community come, and we're going to have like breakout sessions. So we're going to have people talking about PTSD and depression, anxiety, self-harm, suicide, and a bunch more topics. But there's going to be like an opportunity to go talk to these people one-on-one and to like talk as a bigger audience, or to the bigger audience. So it'll be spreading the awareness of like, this is a thing, and let's talk about it. Let's figure out how we can decrease these rates. But if we can't decrease these rates, then let's figure out what we need to do for these people that are suffering for this.
And what do you want the community to do? How do you want the community to participate in this? Or what is it that you aren't getting from your community right now that this would help bring about change?
I think just a general sense of awareness. I think people are aware of it, but like Annika said, I think they don't like to talk about it. It's kind of not a taboo topic necessarily, but it's just,
it's an uncomfortable.
It makes people uncomfortable who aren't either in that situation or know someone who's in that situation. I think just awareness from the community, a growing sense of support from the community, especially for kids and teenagers. Because I think just the community to give them the support that they need is necessary.
So, would this become an annual thing? Is this, I mean, this is your Ideas Festival, so what happens?
So that's the goal of this whole thing. That's why Annika's here. Because she's the underclassman, so when I leave, Annika's going to be in charge, or helping be in charge. The goal is to get it annually and to grow it, so that's why we're only targeting 5 schools right now. So next year we can target more, and then maybe we'll branch out from Jefferson County eventually. But it's to, so eventually it should be bigger and it should be annual.
Well, good luck to you, and we wish you well, and thank you so much for being here to share some of your insights with us.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll be right back.